The war between the US and Iran shows no signs of slowing down, and now a new flashpoint is emerging. Pakistan's support for Saudi Arabia is putting Islamabad in a difficult spot. The country could find itself being drawn into a war, and if Pakistan does join the conflict, it could potentially put its role as a peacemaker at risk. Speculation about Pakistan being pulled into the war began after Iran-backed Houthis fired ballistic missiles towards Saudi Arabia last week. These attacks came in response to an airstrike on Sana'a International Airport. Pakistan has condemned the attacks and has reaffirmed Islamabad's support for security of the kingdom. Islamabad said that it is deeply concerned by attempts to pull Saudi Arabia into the war. However, Pakistan's support for Saudi Arabia could come at a cost. Islamabad has been trying to position itself as a mediator between Washington and Tehran. Its defense commitment to Riyadh, however, could make it increasingly difficult to maintain that very role. Pakistan signed a mutual defense pact with Saudi Arabia last year. Under that very agreement, thousands of Pakistani troops and a squadron of fighter jets are stationed in the kingdom. According to Reuters, senior Pakistani leaders have told Tehran that any attack on Saudi Arabia would be viewed as an attack on Pakistan under this defense pact. The situation escalated further after Houthis, who control northern and western Yemen, including the coast at the mouth of the Red Sea, announced a naval blockade on Saudi Arabia on Monday. It even hit at least one vessel belonging to a Saudi company in the Red Sea. Tensions between Saudi Arabia and Yemen's Houthis have deep roots. They go back to 2015, and that is when Saudi Arabia had launched Operation Decisive Storm. It was a Saudi-led campaign against Houthi forces after their advance on Sana'a now. And it is now that Pakistan's support for Saudi Arabia is adding another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. But there is one more factor at play, and that is Pakistan needs money. The cash-strapped country has reportedly turned to the US, seeking a $10 billion financial lifeline. According to Reuters, Islamabad has asked US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent for bilateral exchange stabilization support worth $10 billion with a maturity of up to 5 years. The request comes as Pakistan continues to deal with the fallout of its worst economic crisis in decades. The country is already under an IMF bailout program and is following tough fiscal and monetary policies to help stabilize its economy. So Pakistan now finds itself walking a fine line. The question is whether it can balance all of this as the war continues to escalate.